Hey, hi guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be in the world. Thank you for joining us today in this really important video that we're talking about a particular subject that you're going to love. And I just want to say thank you for being here. I'm Dr. Dan Nightingale, your clinical dementia specialist. I'm joined by my wife and all-round handler, Lynn. Hi, Lynn.
Hello.
And we've got a really interesting topic to talk about today, something that's very close to my heart. So, Lynn, what have you got for me?
I've got an article here that was posted today, and it says, do ultra-processed foods harm your brain? I think, obviously, the answer is yes, but this is a conclusion of preliminary research that was presented this week at the Alzheimer's Association International Conference.
Yep.
They tracked more than 130,000 adults in the United States for up to 43 years. And during that period, out of 130,000, 11,173 people developed dementia.
Okay, so I've spoken before about food and brain health, food in particular. And if anybody's seen my Facebook videos today, I did a little brief video not too long ago about some brain health foods. Processed food is ultra bad for you, any kind of processed food whatsoever. Whether it's ultra processed, ultra processed or processed. Try and get rid of it. Cut it out of your diet. Go for organic, fresh. If you're in a position where you can grow your own fresh vegetables, for example, do so. Do that. Everything that we try to put in our body needs to be as organic as possible. And unfortunately, the Western diet is killing everybody. We know that the US diet is absolutely awful. It's awful. There are many ingredients in foodstuffs that, number one, they may not put on the packaging because they find ways around it. And number two, the ingredients, some of them are banned in many other countries, especially in Europe. So just think about corn syrup. Fructose corn syrup is in everything here in the US, everything. So cut that out of your diet. Cut sugar out of your diet, and you will see how that makes a difference to your brain health. So yes, Lynn, ultra processed foods or any kind of processed foods need to be avoided. We've got millions and millions and millions of people in the US who have diabetes, millions of people who are obese, and it's because of diet and lifestyle. Lynn?
Here are some examples of ultra-processed foods that you might not have thought were ultra-processed foods. Soda, flavored yogurts,
Yes.
instant soups,
Yep.
and most breakfast cereals. Those items right there make up about 58% of the calories in the United States that are consumed by both children and adults on average.
Yeah. See, the Bradston protocol, Dr. Dale Bradston introduced a protocol, and part of that protocol is all about what you put into your body in terms of food. Many dementias are caused by toxins, inflammation of the brain because of toxicity. And we've got toxins throughout our entire system from all the foodstuffs, the stuff that we breathe in, the things that we are around. So we have to be very, very careful. And Bradston argues that bread, pasta, and any kind of oatmeal is really bad. Don't do it. Stay away from it. Because that causes a lot of problems, and especially bread. Bread is gluten. Gluten isn't good for us, and people who are living with dementia who have the APOE4 gene are very, very sensitive to gluten. So it's ultra important for people with the APOE4 gene not to eat bread. So that's important. And bacon, oh my goodness, bacon. What smells better than a bacon sandwich? You know, if people have been vegetarians for many years, if anything will get them to give in to being a vegetarian, it's the smell of bacon. And yet bacon is so bad. It's so bad because it's processed. And pork has an increased risk of causing testicular cancer in men. Well, obviously in men because testicular cancer. So, you know, bacon is something that we all love to eat. The smell is unbelievable, but we've got to avoid it.
Okay, there's 3 theories that experts, they're not sure which one of these things are happening or maybe a combination, but let's have you speak about each one. So
Okay.
theory 1 is these foods and drinks can compromise vascular health, which can lead to chronic health conditions like hypertension, obesity, diabetes.
Yeah, so all of those things are contributing factors to Alzheimer's disease, and especially sugar. So yes, what was the question again?
I'm saying, but how do those foods compromise vascular health?
Yeah, well, obviously because they can clog your arteries, they can lead to arteriosclerosis, atherosclerosis, and they can lead to things like TIAs, little tiny strokes, and the number of tiny strokes that you have is a warning that you're going to build up to a proper vascular accident, a CVA, a big stroke, and so that's why that is a contributing factor. Yeah.
Yep. They also mentioned that the brain in particular is exquisitely sensitive to the delivery of normal nutrients and oxygen from the blood vessels. So if you have unhealthy blood vessels,
one of the things that is really important for the brain is blood flow. Good, hard, powerful, healthy blood flow. In addition to oxygen, so oxygenating the brain with a good blood flow is really important. And one of the signs we see in a brain scan for people with dementia is reduced blood flow. So absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Theory 2, by eating those foods and drinks, you're displacing healthy nutrients.
Right, absolutely. All we want to try to put in our body is healthy nutrients. And one of the best things, Lynn, that people can eat is what?
Blueberries.
Blueberries.
Organic.
Absolutely.
Blueberries.
Frozen organic blueberries. Frozen organic strawberries. If you're going to eat fruit, get the frozen organic, because immediately when it's picked, it is frozen. So all the goodness is maintained, all the nutrients are in there, all the vitamins, all the antioxidants are maintained in there because it hasn't had the opportunity to sit out in the sun for hours and days as it's being transported to where it needs to go. So absolutely. But in addition to that, Lynn, we need to be having turmeric. Turmeric is an amazing spice and can help to reduce inflammation in the brain, and so
the gut.
And the gut. So having turmeric in there is a really important thing. And as we know, there is a massive connection between gut and brain health.
Yeah, they do say that the antioxidants and flavonoids that are present in healthier foods have been shown in animal studies to reduce inflammation and oxidative stress in the brain.
Right.
And unprocessed plant-based foods are good for the gut, whereas ultra-processed foods can change your gut microbes and promote gastrointestinal inflammation, which emerging research now has linked to neurological disorders and poorer brain function.
Absolutely. Now, it's a well-known fact, and this again is backed up by research. When people move from somewhere like the UK, like I did, move from the UK to the US, for quite some time we are sick. We get really poorly. And Why is that, Lynn?
Because now your gut is exposed to all these chemicals that you weren't used to eating, and you get this negative reaction to your body to adjust to this.
Right. And so you have to be very, very careful. So anybody who's thinking of moving to a different country, think about that. Think about diet, think about nutrition, and think about how a new diet and different nutrition can impact negatively on you. I didn't know about this until I moved here, and I got sick. I can't eat certain things here that I can eat in the UK.
Right. For example, you wouldn't eat white bread in the United States. You avoid it always.
Yep.
But if you were in England, like we were recently, and someone offered you sourdough toast in a restaurant, you would eat that without even thinking twice about that.
Right. Yes, you would. But what I want to get people to do is cut out bread, and especially people with the APOE4 gene. If you do have APOE4, stop eating gluten. Okay,
let's move on to the third theory, is these foods and drinks that are ultra processed, they damage brain cells. They're very taxing on the brain.
Yeah. See, this is the sugar content. There is so much sugar in things like soda. And as everybody knows, I am anti-soda. And every video I end with, let's dump the soda. Dump the soda. Cut out refined sugar from your diet.
Including diet soda.
Especially diet soda, even worse. So stay away from that stuff. And stay away from energy drinks, high energy drinks. As currently, in emergency medicine, there are many, many people turning up at ER or A&E or casualty because of the damage to the heart caused by these energy drinks. So caffeine, there's far too much caffeine in those things. Whilst caffeine is a little bit of caffeine is good for you. So if you are to do these things, have a handful of blueberries, organic, frozen, every day. Put MCT oil, a tablespoonful of MCT oil. MCT stands for medium chain triglycerides. It's one of the things that penetrates the blood-brain barrier, so it goes straight up to the brain. MCT oil, put a spoonful of that, a tablespoonful, in a small shot of black coffee. Every day, every morning. A little bit of coffee is good for us. There's research to show that it can reduce our risks of developing not just a neurocognitive disorder like Alzheimer's, but also a neurological movement disorder such as Parkinson's. So have that. Also introduce something called HMB. H for hotel, M for Mike, B for Bravo. HMB supplements into your daily diet. What HMB does is helps maintain muscle mass on older people. And in addition to that, it has now been shown that HMB helps with brain health. So it can help with memory, help with cognition. So introduce those three things into your daily diet and avoid these processed foods.
Yep. They say the way they damage brain cells is that harmful compounds that are found in certain foods, especially foods high in added sugars or animal fats, or those cooked at very high temperatures, like by frying, can damage brain cells because these compounds can accumulate in the brain and promote inflammation and oxidative stress.
Exactly. That's why things like deep fried chicken is not good. It's not a good choice. It's not a good option, having deep fried chicken, because of those reasons. Now, if you think about the DNA and the DNA strands, at the end of your DNA strands is something called a telomere. Now, as we age, telomeres shrink, they shorten. And when we die, that is because the telomeres have gone. They've shortened and shortened and shortened until they've gone away. So through good, healthy diet, lifestyle, exercise, brain health, physical health, and a positive mindset, you can actually stop those telomeres from shortening as rapidly as they do with a negative poor lifestyle, health, and diet and nutrition. And therefore, you extend your life. And if you can extend your life, then, and it's quality, you have a good quality of life, that's what you're trying to do. Improve your quality of life through diet, lifestyle, nutrition, and don't let stress, anxiety, and worry into your world. Stop it. Put a big door there so it can't get in. The only thing that matters is the present moment. Stay focused, stay present, and have a healthy mindset, and think about mindfulness.
And don't try to make a bunch of changes all at once to your diet. Just you're gonna fail. Yeah. You're gonna set yourself up for failure. Yes. So just if you're drinking soda or diet soda or those power beverage drinks, all these,
high energy
fake
things,
energy drinks, all these things, just cut back in half. And then after that, cut back in half again and start replacing it with water or lightly sweetened tea, or put fruit in your water or cucumber or something like that. Just try to make one swap at a time and then get yourself used to it. And how many times do you have to do something to make it a permanent habit?
Well, that's an individual thing, isn't it?
Yeah, there's research that says you have to do something like 30 something times before it becomes a habit.
I can change just like that, and I can cut stuff off immediately.
Yeah.
And that's the end of that. So I think we're all individual. It takes other people a bit of time to get into a new habit, a new lifestyle, and changes. So
they recommend you get rid of the worst offenders first. So soda would be one, and then red meat, go after that one and replace that with healthier proteins.
Yeah. And one of the things that we know now is fasting is a really good way of managing your own health, your diet and nutrition. We like to follow either the 12-3 or the 16-8. The 12-3, the 12 stands for you eat your last meal at 7 p.m. and then you can eat again at 7 a.m. The 3 stands for nothing to eat or drink other than a little bit of water 3 hours before you go to sleep. So you'll eat your last meal at 7, or you complete your last meal at 7 and you go to bed at 10. That's your 3. With people carrying the APOE4 gene, really need to be working towards the 16-8. So for 16 hours you fast, and for 8 hours you have that 8-hour window of being able to eat healthy. Okay, so fasting is really, really important. And what we do with the triangle that we see, which is, it like talks about the Mediterranean diet triangle, sometimes you have to turn that upside down and make fasting one of the most important things. And protein from animals, including fish, being not right in immediate, but a little bit further up the triangle. So eating fish, salmon, is extremely, extremely healthy and good for you. But just like processed foods, stay away from farm-grown or farm-produced fish. Get the fresh stuff. Get the frozen stuff that is straight from wherever it comes from, the Atlantic or Alaska. Or Lynn and I had some Alaskan king crab a few days ago when we were over in California, and that was really good, and it's healthy and it's fresh and that kind of stuff. So there you go. That's today's video. Just remember, everyone, share this YouTube channel with all your friends, all your family, colleagues, neighbours, anybody that can benefit from these educational videos. So subscribe, get people to subscribe, share my Facebook page, my Instagram page. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of followers now on all of those platforms. So thank you for that. Keep sharing it, Let's keep educating people. Let's improve our quality of life, and let's reduce our risks of developing a dementia. Okay? So just before you go, we've talked about soda. What are we going to do with the soda? I'm going to count to 3 and we're all going to shout as loud as we can, dump the soda. Okay? 1, 2, 3, dump the soda!